guys tracking that metric as far as, you've got a house that they were asking 400,000 and goes for it finally gets under contract for 475, and kind of, okay, it's appraising for 425. The guy's putting 20% down, but it's $50,000 over appraisal. So now they've got to put down the 20% plus another 50. Do you guys have a metric for that as well? Or are you tracking that?
Yeah, the parallel metric, I would say, in our data, that's again, I think often leads the market, because the investors are telling us what they think is going to happen in 6 months. Is that I was just looking at this morning. It's the price execution. I mentioned it earlier. There's price execution relative to the unpaid balance on the loan, or the legal balance. But there's price execution relative to the estimated value of the home. And on our platform, before the pandemic, we were seeing that average about 79%. So in other words, people were paying 79%, and that's not after repair value, by the way. It's the actual estimated current value of the home. The bank says, we think this home is worth 100,000. We sell it on average for 79,000. So the investor is getting a great discount, right? But what's been kind of crazy is on our side, that I think parallels that metric, is that percentage has now gone up. I was just looking in May, it was up to 92%. So instead of paying 79 cents on the dollar, our investors are now willing to pay 92 cents on the dollar for a distressed property. And, that's good for the sellers. But the investors are also doing their calculus and saying, I talked to one the other day who says, because on the selling side of this crazy market, I made $30,000 more on my flip than I thought I was going to make, because prices have gone up so fast. And actually, I can share some of my slides too, if you want to show some of this. But I was just looking at home flipping, and our average. So we looked at properties that sold on our platform and then were resold by the investor within the next year. Mm-hmm. And this is over the past couple of years, but this has actually been going up, is the average gross flip profit, which is just the difference between what the property was purchased for and what it sold for, is now $92,000. And that's 58% gross ROI, meaning, that $92,000 is a 58% return on the purchase price. Right. I do want to be clear, that's not taking into account rehab costs, because we don't know that. Right. But that number is pretty incredible. And I was actually comparing that to public record data on home flips, and the home flips, the profits are going down just in the last couple of months, because the many home flippers are having trouble finding the discounts on the front end. At least on our platform, there's still some, even though it's 92 cents on the dollar, it's still a better discount than you can get if you buy retail. And so that's why we see our buyers, their flipping profits are going up. But around that question,
Daren, a couple of things there. Number one, you've got pricing on lumber, of course, is way up. Mm-hmm. Finding labor to do the rehabs is an absolute bear at this point. I'm having some rehab done on my house right now, and same thing. And but I was looking at something the other day, and it said 7% of actual home sales are actually flippers, where it was 2 years ago, it was probably almost 10%.
Yeah, that number has gone down. I'd be interested to see. What I'm hearing anecdotally is people are flipping not because they intended to flip. I'm hearing more stories of people who bought a house maybe near the beginning of the pandemic, and it's gone up so much in value. They're like, I'm going to sell, even though it's been maybe a year since I bought. Yeah. And I'm curious to start looking at the data to see if we see that trend emerge. And that's actually another sign of a irrational and potentially bubble forming market. We saw that kind of behavior in 2006-07. People not buying properties that are in good condition. They're not even adding a lot of value to them, and then just ending up flipping them. So I'm going to be looking for that. But to your point, right now it's harder to find the discount on the front end, and your costs are going up in the middle. So that's
Right.
tough.
Right.
Yeah.